I am so full of turkey. Must stay awake. Actually, tryptophan's a lie. It doesn't actually make you sleepy. Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, so I screwed up again. But I did it for you. So the reason that I'm saying I screwed up is because in order for me to do the video where I was showing you guys the different tests I do in Aimlab, well, yeah, I kind of tried to run that multiple times because I was having trouble with OBS, and I was getting like 10 frames a second, and I kept goofing my tests, and it was tracking those, so I really screwed myself over badly. So earlier in the week when I recorded that, I pulled my scores down massively, and since my focus has been on flicking, I was able to recover flicking, but some of the other ones I did some pretty bad damage too. So I'm actually kind of further away from my goal now overall with my Ruby score, but I'm not too worried because I know I can get better scores in all those other areas. It's just a matter of me having to do them all over again. So with that in mind, take my scores with a grain of salt. I'm not really going to focus in on too much beyond the flicking. So yeah, and if I had left everything else well enough alone, I would have been able to be pretty confident in my flicking score. But since I spent a fair amount of the week just trying to recover some of my overall scores, I didn't make as much gains in flicking as I wanted to. However, if you look at my overall progress, I'm almost there with flicking to the point where it's at 50%. So pretty soon I'm going to switch back to a general approach anyway and just start working on kind of pulling up all the scores. It'd be nice to get everything above 60 at least at some point. But I'm thinking probably in the next week, I think I'm going to hit Ruby 2, which will be another nice milestone. So yeah, the scores aren't very good, but overall I'm hopefully optimistic. And if we look over in Apex, you can kind of see that the anomaly that we saw in Aimlab was an anomaly because overall my performance in Apex has improved as well. I finally got back to 0.75, as pathetic as that is, but at least I'm moving in the right direction. And my average damage is up to 319.6, which I think might actually be the high for the season so far. No, but it's the highest I've had pretty much since the last season, because I tanked at the beginning of season 6. So I think it's the highest score I've had in season 6 so far. So that's good. So if we look at the graphs, now we can see kind of where I goofed, because my perception number was really high and now it's very low. Everything else kind of stayed the same, but you can see flicking is still on an upwards trend. So overall, that's where I want to see it. And again, with the Apex average damage, if you took the previous season out, it would look like I'm on a nice steady growth other than a brief blip at weeks 8 and 9. And I've still been playing a fair amount of ranked, so overall I'm pretty happy with how it's going there. Kill death has not been great, but again, playing a lot of ranked, I don't expect this to be jumping up by any huge amount anytime soon. I'm currently at gold 3, I believe, so I am going to try to push further in the platinum if I can, but we'll see how it goes. Overall, nothing too much to be worried about, not a whole lot to be excited about. Actually, I think the only thing I could take out of this is that my continued practice on flicking is having results, and I'm actually kind of getting at least to that average point. I know shooting to be average is kind of a weird concept, but I think if you look how many people out there are gaming and how little time I have to devote it to other people, I'm kind of okay with being average. Just being bad is not something I can handle. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Do you like cats? Me too. I fucking hate cats. But I love these fresh videos, and I love when you subscribe. Unless you like cats, in which case, totally pro cat. Yay, cats.